This morning I discovered my cat, Fidelia, 12 years of bad character and weird behaviour, when I went to get the vacuum cleaner on the veranda, and I ended up screaming. I had leaned over to grab the vacuum, and something dark caught my eye. My cat, Fidelia, in the corner of the veranda, lying between the stove and the wall, behind inert domestic equipment. I screamed and backed away. But this was my cat. I stopped backing away and went closer. I stared for a long time, seeking any movement. I said her name. I was afraid, reluctant. I pushed at her with the end of a broom. She must have been dead a day or two, because one side of her was flat from lying in the same position, and she moved like a saucer on the ground, stiff. Her eyes were open. Goo had leaked from them. She'd had a tumour diagnosed at the beginning of last summer. She limped and stumbled towards her death, carefully moving in the garden from one stone slab to the next, sometimes listing sideways, her usually adroit paws colliding with one another, once ending up on her side in the zucchini plants. She would get up, knowing something was dreadfully wrong, and move slowly on. She panted on, sometimes lying under the fir tree when it was too hot, going from one spot to the next, usually during the day, to avoid the sun, whereas in days gone by she had always tried to follow the sun, gather its warmth, bathe in it. On the last Saturday of her life, I had 10 people over for lunch in the garden, and Fidelia had joined us, being sociable, rubbing. She even ate a bit, some little bits of beef I gave her. I could see her eating with gusto the morsels I dropped beside me. Then, during a good gnaw of the 6th piece, she suddenly froze, her eyes figuring. The pain, a sudden loss of appetite, and she turned and walked or wobbled into the neighbour's bushes, and then sat and lay down in the shade, unmoving. During that lunch, I had picked up her emaciated body and laid it across the palms of my 2 hands and showed her to everyone. She did not move. She purred, like a little massaging motor vibrating in the palms of my hands, still finding some contentment. Now flies land on her corpse and scamper towards her eyes to suck on those unblinking orbs.